BigRedFishDad YouTube channel here. Finally, if you watched a few of the other videos on the Halloween stuff, I was talking about a skeleton. I think I finally got it figured out on my handy dandy notebook here. So, all I did was just have my wife measure me, basically, so it'll be somewhat close to the right proportions and everything. And so, what I decided I'm going to do is just basically something like this. Out of the pickets, this will be the backbone, this will be the shoulder blades. This will stick up a little bit more and attach the head. Then I'll actually put, probably kind of like I did the pumpkins, a couple of maybe 3 layers here, and then kind of cut a pelvis type shape out, and then I'll attach the legs and stuff from that part. For the ribs, I'm just going to rip down some of the pickets into probably just in half, and then space them out across here as ribs. It's supposed to be a Halloween skeleton, right? So not going to be anatomically correct. But anyway, let me just get all this stuff cut out and everything, and then put it all together, and we'll see what it looks like. Hopefully it'll turn out good. So for the backbone, it's going to be 35. Femurs at 14. The lower legs, so I'm going to overlap them with because the upper leg is going behind the pelvis. I'm going to put these on top of the pelvis, or on top of the other leg, so that it keeps it, level. So I'm going to overlap them probably about 3 inches or so for kind of like the knee. And I'm going to go ahead and rip these down to 3 inches as well, so they match the other leg. Okay, for the hip, I'm going to just cut 3 of these at 18, and then I'll use the jigsaw to give it a little bit of shape. I don't know what a pelvis looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start over on the drawing there. Went back and looked, and basically it's like a heart or a butterfly, kind of. So I gotta figure out how to draw that.
Get out of the garage.
So I think, okay, since I'm not a very good artist, I just found this. That'll look pretty good. I'm going to round the edges off with that and get my center line here, line up this seam with it, and then use one of these as the marker of where I want it. Because I don't want it to go all the way up into this board, because, I just don't want it to go that high. And we just want the illusion of a pelvis, right? So something like this should be fine. Come down there, come down there. Yeah, 3 inches looks good. Just got to use what you have in your shop. Okay, so here's the shoulders. I measured it out and it was going to be 22, but when I came over to the thing and kind of starting to lay it out, let me show you that, hang on. Okay, so when I was laying it out, the one up there that I already made right here, that one's 22, and I'm not sure that the arms will have enough room to hang down freely and look right, so I just put a spacer scrap there and one here and then measured across, and it's like 26 and something, so I cut another one at 28, and then I'm just going to round the edges off on it. I'll just reuse that one for 2 of the ribs, but that's all I'm going to do. Just going to use the paint can here and make the round, and then keep on going. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all this together, and then I'll work on the head and the ribs and get that done, and that's it. For the head, I'll probably do something similar to the pelvis here and just make one real quick out of 3 layers of the scraps that are left over from when I did the ribs cut and everything else. So this one, I'll put a list of all the materials and the end measurements if it looks right and proportional. You just might have to adjust it a little bit for your liking. It's just, you know, it is a skeleton. You'll get the idea once you paint it white and it looks like a skeleton. So I'm not too worried about that. But anyway, like I said, I'll put in the description and a link. I might even try to draw up some plans when I get time. I've got a few things that I need to put out on the website as plans, but I just haven't got them out there yet. So hopefully that will come soon. Okay, so the last thing I've got is the ribs. Got everything else put together as you saw. I know there's supposed to be 10 plus the 2 false ribs or whatever, but I just gonna do 9 basically. I got one at 18, 17, and 16 inches. I'm just gonna stagger them a little bit like that because it gets a little wider at the you know, right here at the bottom. So just gonna rip these down at 1 inch each, and just use those as ribs. And like I said earlier, I'm just going to screw them to the backbone. Okay, finally got it figured out, I think. I'm not going to use all 9 of those, so I just don't have space. And if I measured right, I think I'm only going to use 6, and I'm just going to stagger them. Smallest, medium, big, big, medium, small. So that should make it fit just right, and I think every 2 inches. Now just to paint him up. So the last thing I got to do here is trace on the face. I just went on the internet and found some, I don't know, I liked that one, so I printed it off. I'm just going to press down and trace it on there a little bit, and then I'll probably just hand paint it with some black. I'm going to use, instead of doing the teeth, I'm just going to paint my screws up a little bit. Kind of like if you'll look online, you'll see some with just straight lines, so that's what I'm going to use instead. Alright, so there it is. Turned out pretty good. Looks really good with the pumpkin and the candy corn. Guess I just need something for right there, or maybe move everything over one. Another Halloween idea, craft, easy. Could make it from pallets, or we just use those fence pickets. I'll put down in the description the actual measurements. He actually ended up being about 6'2" or 3", so you could cut it down a little bit, maybe cut off a little bit right there, between the pelvis and the ribs, and maybe make the legs just a touch shorter, and just shorten everything up by about 2 inches, and it would probably all fall just about right. Well, I will write some directions and get them on the website, but just takes me a little while because during the week I can't get much done. So anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed, get some good ideas, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.